And like I said, you go down here. This is where the railgun is on the ship. So this bullet has to go from here to the target at 125 miles. It has to ascend and descend at Mach 7. Now, anyone that can fog a mirror knows that this is impossible. I don't know any other way to put it. Okay? I can't break this down any further. So, let's employ some actual science. So, like I said before, we went over this a few times in past videos, the null hypothesis. To do a hypothesis test, you will actually have two hypotheses, the null and the alternative, which are stated in such a way that they are mutually exclusive. Makes sense. The null hypothesis is the conclusion that is considered the default. You will accept this hypothesis if you fail to find sufficient support for the alternative hypothesis, right? So, the null, if the Earth is flat, then shots taken with a line-of-sight weapon, a non-self-propelled projectile, it's a bullet, will not be limited to the Earth's curvature. Bulge and target hidden amount to effectively engage targets for said distance and elevation according to the alleged curvature, which we've just shown. This is the ball earthers' hypothesis. They need to validate this. By validating this, they falsify this. Make sense? This is their hypothesis. If the Earth is a sphere with a circumference of 24,901 miles with a radius of 3959, then shots taken with a line-of-sight weapon, it's a non-self-propelled projectile, i.e. bullets, will be limited to the Earth's curvature, bulge and target hidden amount to effectively engage targets. So, they need to prove this one, validate this hypothesis, whereby falsifying the null. You have to falsify the null. If you can't, then you're finished, right? Scientifically speaking. It's already been validated. They've already said it. It has a range of 125 miles. They've already tested this, as you can see here, for the 1,000th time. The Navy helps to use the railgun for multiple missions, including precision, surface fire support. We'll see that here and again in a second. Land strikes, cruise missile, and ballistic missile defense. The weapon will also be used to fight surface ships. Surface ships are on the surface, right? This weapon, Dr. Roger McGinnis, he's the executive in charge of the railgun program. The weapon does all of its damage because of its speed. Speed. It can't be an indirect fire weapon because it's a bullet. It has no explosive. See this? The weapon is called a railgun and requires neither gunpowder, nor explosive. It is powered by electromagnetic rails that accelerate a hardened projectile, it's about the size of a football, to a staggering velocity. Here it is again. It uses no gunpowder or chemical propellants. And it's good in a sense for the Navy because it eliminates the need to carry dangerous explosives on the warship. Here we go again. The 25-pound projectile is a non-explosive bullet. Everyone say it with me. Non-explosive bullet. The incredible speed allows the projectile to strike the target with enough kinetic energy to destroy it with no need for explosives. See that? Now, the naval fire support, we roll down here to naval gunfire characteristics. Naval gunfire has a flat trajectory. So, as an indirect fire weapon, like artillery, will they use HE or high explosive or incendiary rounds? The Navy railgun projectile is non-explosive. It does all of its damage due to its speed for the 1,000th time. Using it as an indirect fire weapon, the projectile will lose most of its speed and drop a piece of dead 25-pound hunk of metal from the sky. That's really scary, right? I'm sure the Navy's not going to spend $1 billion friggin' to drop 25 pieces of dead metal anywhere. This is tantamount, if you say it's an indirect fire weapon, this is tantamount to claiming that an M16 or M60 or another rifle is an indirect fire weapon. Okay? Is there any questions about this?